Sometimes it's the simplest things, isn't it? They just unlock a whole new world.
Uh-huh.
And today, we're diving into one of those areas, talking about food and drink in English.
It seems basic, but it's everywhere.
Exactly. Think about it. You're traveling, maybe meeting new people, or just, living day to day. Food and drink chat pops up constantly. It really is key to connecting.
Absolutely. And for this, we've got a really useful source, actually. It's a conversation between two English learners, Jack and Emma, from their English podcast.
Yeah.
And their whole approach is about taking those first sort of manageable steps towards actually speaking more fluently.
Right. So our mission here in this deep dive is basically to unpack that chat they had. We want to pull out the most practical, memorable phrases.
The useful bits.
Yeah, the useful bits to help you feel hopefully more confident just jumping into those food and drink conversations in English without, feeling totally overwhelmed.
Makes sense. So where did Jack and Emma kick things off?
Well, they started with a question that seems almost too obvious, maybe, but it's powerful.
Okay.
What's your favorite food?
The classic starter. Yeah, it's such an accessible way to get a friendly exchange going. And we know how important those first interactions are for building up a bit of confidence.
It's true, isn't it? Everyone has something they like to eat. It's an easy way in. Jack, he mentioned pizza, specifically pepperoni pizza was his favorite.
Right.
And he even said, "I love pizza," was one of the very first English sentences he actually learned.
And that's interesting, isn't it? How early on they clocked the sort of social value of just a basic question and answer like that. It immediately opens a door, lets you share something personal, find some common ground, maybe. Great icebreaker.
Yeah, definitely.
And Emma, she then gave some other really straightforward examples of how you might answer. Things like, "I really like sushi," or "I love pasta."
It's tough.
And Jack added, "I enjoy eating burgers." See?
Sorry.
It's that simple subject-verb-object structure. Gets the point across nice and clearly.
All right, so for you listening, these are phrases you can use, like right now. Just plug in your own favorite.
Exactly.
It's less about wrestling with complicated grammar at this point, and more about just getting comfortable saying what you like.
Mm-hmm. And that principle, starting simple, it works just as well for talking about drinks.
Okay, yeah.
Emma mentioned her favorite is iced coffee. And Jack chimed in saying he drinks coffee pretty much every morning.
Common habits. Easy to talk about.
Totally. These are those everyday routines that, well, they naturally create opportunities for English practice, if you think about it that way.
So what were some of the phrases they shared for drinks? Similar structure.
Very similar. Things like, "I like drinking coffee, I enjoy tea, I often drink water, and I love fresh juice."
Okay. So you see that pattern again. I love, I enjoy, followed by whatever the drink is.
Yep. It's a really versatile starting point.
Yeah, easy to remember.
And it just reinforces that idea, doesn't it? That you don't need a huge vocabulary right at the beginning to communicate effectively. These basic phrases are super useful in loads of everyday situations.
Okay, that makes sense. Now let's shift gears a bit. What about a situation that can sometimes feel a bit more pressured for language learners? Like ordering in a restaurant.
Yes. Ordering. It's understandable that can feel a bit daunting.
For sure.
But Jack and Emma, they highlighted some key phrases that can really simplify things. Jack suggested, "Can I have a cheeseburger, please?"
Polite and direct.
Exactly. And Emma added the equally useful, "I'll take the pasta."
Right. And the crucial words there, I guess, are please and.
Thank you. Absolutely. They might seem small, but honestly, they carry a lot of weight in English. Shows politeness, makes the whole interaction smoother.
Emma called them small victories, didn't she? Using those polite words helps build confidence.
She did, and it's such a good way to put it. And what I found really encouraging was her little story.
Oh, yeah.
About her first time ordering food in English. She said she was really nervous, and she just managed to say, "Pizza, please," with a smile.
Yeah. Sometimes that's all you need, right?
Exactly. It's a great reminder that sometimes, especially when you're starting out, simple is genuinely your best friend. The main thing is just taking that first step, however small it feels.
Absolutely. It's all about building that confidence piece by piece.
Yeah.
And did they cover responding? Like if someone offers you food?
They did, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, keeping it simple and polite. Just a straightforward yes, please, if you want it, or no, thank you, if you don't. Short, polite, incredibly useful phrases to just have ready to go.
Definitely handy.
And these small everyday interactions, they're actually so important for your language development over time. Every time you have a successful exchange, even a really brief one, it just reinforces your ability to communicate in, well, real life.
That makes a lot of sense.
Mhm.
Now, they also touched on something else I thought was really interesting. This idea of like intentionally creating an English world at home.
Ah, yes. The immersion idea.
But not like intense study sessions, right? More about weaving English into your daily life.
Exactly that. They suggested some really practical ways to immerse yourself, even when you're not, hitting the grammar books or vocabulary lists.
Like what?
Well, one idea was putting sticky notes on things in your fridge, say, with the English names.
Oh, right. Like milk, bread, apple.
Precisely. So you get this direct visual link between the English word and the actual thing you use every single day.
That's clever. Simple, but clever. Build vocabulary almost without thinking about it.
Mm-hmm. And they also recommended consciously trying to think in English while you're eating. Just telling yourself, I'm eating rice or I'm drinking tea. It's about making that little mental switch into English, even for just routine stuff.
That requires a bit of discipline, I guess, but I can see how it would help.
And then there was the habit they both apparently shared, talking to themselves in English while cooking.
Really? Like out loud?
Yeah, seemingly. Just narrating actions like cutting tomatoes or boiling pasta.
Yeah.
They called these tiny habits that sort of gradually build up your fluency. Might feel a bit weird at first, maybe.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But it's a fantastic, really low-pressure way to practice actually forming sentences.
It really highlights their whole baby steps philosophy, doesn't it?
It really does.
It's not about becoming fluent overnight.
Yeah.
It's these small, consistent things you do every day that add up and lead to real progress eventually.
And that's probably the key insight from their whole conversation. It's the consistent repetition of these small daily practices. That's what builds genuine improvement and lasting confidence.
Okay, so pulling it all together then. Learning to talk about food and drink in simple English. It sounds totally achievable, actually.
Yeah, I think so.
It's about starting with those basic questions, those simple answers. Using polite phrases when you order.
The please and thank yous.
And then finding those little manageable ways to just bring English into your daily routine at home, like the sticky notes or thinking while you eat.
Precisely. Jack and Emma's main message seems really clear. Consistent, small-scale practice is, well, it's the real engine driving language learning. It's those regular, achievable steps, not trying to make huge, intimidating leaps.
Right. So here's maybe a little action for you listening today. Just one small thing. Maybe next time you order a coffee or something, try doing it in English.
Good idea.
Or perhaps, when you're having dinner tonight, just try thinking in English about what you're eating for a minute or two. Just one little step.
Yeah, make it small, make it doable. And that actually leads nicely into a final thought, kind of inspired by Jack and Emma's whole practical approach.
Okay.
Think about how this idea, focusing on small, everyday interactions, how could that apply to learning anything new, anything you're curious about?
That's interesting.
What other little baby steps could you maybe take in those other areas of your life?